World Series of Poker is a most unpredictable event. Fraught with explosive action, unbridled aggression, and a slew of intimidating opponents.
There's the rest of the world, and there's me.
All I know is I got 12 you idiots to beat.
Is this the way you want to get knocked out of the tournament?
I can't take it!
Trying to bust me.
Live to breathe another day.
They're total showmen, but they're all business.
Let it go, baby!
I'm the best hold'em player in the world, and I'm in my prime.
Right now, I'm at maximum strength.
I'm just trying to tell them the kiddie game is down the street.
As day 2 comes to a close, the best remaining players give the main event their best shot. Welcome to the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light with Norman Chan. I'm Lon McCarran, and day 2 of the main event is now making its turn down the home stretch. 5 former champions remain in contention, including Johnny Chan, Phil Hellmuth, Joe Hashem, and Chris Moneymaker now playing on an outer table.
Free money, baby.
The Unabomber Phil Locke now occupies table 2, and over at the featured table, the always dangerous Gus Hansen takes center stage here in the Rio Poker Room.
The Great Dane, the only 3-time winner in World Poker Tour history, still seeking his World Series breakthrough.
And some World Series rookies, I'm sure, nervous about sitting here with Hansen.
Can we make a rule at this table that everybody stops looking surprised when I raise, because I'm probably going to raise the rest of the pots.
It's no joke. Gus was the first to be hyper-aggressive on TV. He preceded all the internet young gun aggressors.
I mean, nobody wants to get knocked out before tomorrow, right?
The money bubble is approaching. All right, action on Klaus Patreau on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam. A pair of trays for the man from France. He limps in for 800. Tom Lee, World Series rookie. Pocket 9s.
His nickname is Joker because of his big smile at the poker table. Well, not right now.
He also calls for 800. Action on Peter Costa, born in Greece, grew up in England, pro player. Ace 3 of clubs.
This guy's a delight. He's got 2 nicknames, Silver Fox and the Poet. That's how delightful he is.
And he limps in. Friendly pot so far. Anahit Galajian from Glendale, California with ace queen off.
She doesn't have a nickname, but her friends call her Anna.
And she will limp in as well. About 2,400 players began this day 2 session. About a third of them are gone already. Action folds around to Hansen, born in Denmark, now calls Monaco his home. 8-7 offsuit, and he calls.
Is he Monegas?
Should have moved all in. Nobody's going to call you.
I'm a tight player.
If Gus Hansen's a tight player, then I'm a matrimonial genius.
And the big blind is Jesper Huga, 23-year-old Swedish student with Queen Deuce.
His nickname is Jeppish. I don't know what that means.
A bunch of limpers, 6 players to the flop, any 2 cards.
I guess there was a pre-flop special.
7 deuce deuce. Huga with trip deuces grabs the lead from the big blind.
Yeah, you lick your lips when you hit trips.
Wow. Hansen first to act. He hit a pair of 7s and bets 2,600.
If you're watching TV on a 9-inch TV set, we apologize.
That is a lot to look at. Huga with his trip deuces makes the call and gets a glare from Gus. Patreau will give up his hand.
Thank goodness we lost somebody.
And Lee will call with pocket 9s. Costa says no thanks.
Something doesn't smell right.
That's my aftershave, Peter.
Galajian folds also, so 3 players survive to the turn. It is a 10 that hits no one. Huga still with the advantage. Gus checks his 7s. Now Huga with trip deuces is all in for 10,300. There's a message.
That should thin the herd.
Yeah, Lee does get out of the way.
Gus is a one-man herd.
Well,
Caught part of the flop.
you could have that, you could have that, you could have that, and
But he could have that.
I don't know which one of them I can beat.
None of them.
And he does fold. And so Gus Hansen's beat by the young Swedish student Jesper Huga, a World Series rookie.
I didn't like your call. I didn't mind Gus's bet. It's your call I didn't like.
Come on, when I lead out, it's like this, okay?
I don't think anybody's buying that, but that's the beauty of Gus's game. You just don't know. Norman, the day 2 sessions are nearing an end, and while some may already be looking forward to day 3 and the money that lies ahead, on this day there is still a lot of poker to be played and a lot of danger to be dodged.
Lon, you want danger? I say Gus Hansen. You want adventurous? I say Gus Hansen. You want stylish? I say Gus Hansen. You want aggressive? I say Gus Hansen. Plus, he's a man's man and a ladies' man. Heck, we have so much in common. How can I not root for him?
Gus's persona is quite magnetic, always looks calm above the table, but below board's a different story, clearly antsy for some action. Of course, Gus is not the only player in the Rio poker room who's always putting his opponents to the test. 2005 Player of the Year, Alan Cunningham knows a thing or two about flexing his poker muscle.
71 more.
Alan's moving all in right now against Marco Savoni.
Cunningham made the main event final table in 2006.
I can't beat anything. Listen.
Savoni's going to fold.
I think they're applauding Alan's shirt.
At another table, the always dangerous Mike Matasso.
Come on.
And Mike has pushed all in as well. Gary Friedlander is his opponent. Wastes very little time folding.
There is a king on the board.
I had it, boys. Don't worry.
The mouth tortures him by only showing a 6.
Don't worry. I had a king. I am cruel, aren't I? They beat me a pot like that. I gotta get cruel.
To another intimidating force, Jean-Robert Belland. After the river, Belland had top pair, top kicker, but his opponent, Sven Hoffeldner, moved all in with a full house.
You want me to call you?
Why wouldn't he want you to call him? He's got kings full. Don't do it, Bobby. You're a survivor.
He does fold.
Huh?
Top pair, top kicker. Good laydown by Belland.
Now on, I'm making the donkey call and catching it. I'm going to get there.
Donkey call usually leads to donkey busted.
So Jean-Robert saved himself a few chips with that laydown. At table 2 now, where Phil Locke has taken up residence. Almost half the table is going to see the flop, including Phil, who opened the action with a raise.
19 players taking the flop. My card's back.
Actually, just 4 players. Michael Carroll is sitting this one out. Phil Locke opened things up. He has Jack 7. Ken Lee called with pocket 4s. Eric Semel with ace 10 of clubs, and Mo Saquin, the big blind, with king 6 offsuit.
3 of the 4 players in the hand are sitting down.
The flop is 9, Jack 9. Phil Locke with the lead. Jack's up. Semel first to act. He checks. Big blind. Saquin checks as well.
Well, the one player standing up has the best hand. Maybe that's the way to go.
He's going to bet it. 3,500 from Phil. Lee folds. Semel gets out of the way. Saquin pauses. He's going to try to buy it with a big raise.
You're bluffing, huh?
Yes, he is.
Very strong move. You know that I probably don't have quad 9s.
Well, you just told him.
And you're doing the thing.
He's doing the thing.
They're all going to laugh at me in like Iowa and Des Moines, Iowa. Chicago, Illinois, they'll be laughing there. Surely in Boston, Mass, they'll be having a good time. What a donk, Phyllis. What a donk. Didn't he know?
That big of a hand?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is this any good?
Phil Locke's going to lay it down.
So don't, you can show the bluff. Go ahead, show the 8-4. 8-4 suited at least. Let it be suited.
Doesn't show.
I'll pay you to see the hand. I'll pay you. It's too late now.
Hey, we're laughing with you, Phil.
You had the 8-4? Was it suited at least? 8-4 hearts? It had some kind of pre-flop purity to it?
He won't give up.
You just got dirty. You had 8-4 offsuit and you just decided that was that. You just didn't like it. You're going to punish me, huh? That's how you do it? You just hurt me? I didn't do anything to you or your family, and that's how it is. That's harsh. That's
life at the main event of the World Series of Poker. It can be harsh on those brave enough to try.
Hello, Mr. Cunningham. Alan, it's a big pot out there, buddy. Come on. Don't be scared.
I call.
Only a donkey would make that call.
We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
Back at the Rio, our E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, you see that Phil Hellmuth holds the record for most World Series cashes.
And Hellmuth at age 43, the youngest on that accomplished list.
To an outer table where Phil has pushed all in.
You can't win this without winning a big pot, right?
His opponent is Matt Vengren. Vendren with a big decision. And he is going to fold against Helmuth and shows pocket queens.
You want the truth? Yeah. Okay, I had one of three hands.
I know, that's why I put
Aces, kings, or ace king. That's the truth.
I believe Phil, because I don't think he's moving all in pre-flop at this point of the tournament without a really big hand.
When it comes to talking, Phil might get a run for his money from Jean Robert, also known as Bobby Ballon, but right now, mum's the word. Ballon bet out to Gilles Roy, waiting for his reaction, and he's going to give it up.
Excellent laydown.
Excellent laydown is Jean Robert's catchphrase. He loves to talk and put players on tilt.
How do I say in Chinese? Han hao, fold. Han hao. Fei chang hao. Han hao.
Ballon can apparently compliment opponents in Mandarin as well after his experience on one of the most popular TV shows on the planet.
Last year I missed the main event for one reason. I was doing Survivor China and was there instead of being here. That was brutal. My strategy out there was being the biggest bully, being the biggest jerk, and barely escaping elimination. I race. When I'm at a poker table, I will talk, I'll try and put people off their game, I'll intimidate them. All right, you guys, this is the way it's gonna go. I really feel that being a poker pro gave me a significant edge.
Hold on, baby! Let's do this!
Even though Survivor was brutal, I still think winning the main event at the World Series is more difficult.
Oh, man.
You're basically just trying to survive the hand, trying to survive the level, and then trying to survive the day. I would much rather be a World Series of Poker champion than the ultimate survivor.
Survivor was looking for a poker pro last year. Daniel Negreanu turned him down because he didn't want to miss the main event. Jean Robert said yes.
You guys are playing so good, making such good laydowns.
I can't really see Daniel Negreanu on Survivor. I'm not sure rats or bats would fit into his vegetarian diet.
Jean Robert makes a lot of noise when he takes your chips back over to the featured table, and more of a silent assassin, Gus Hansen. Hansen looking for his first World Series of Poker bracelet. He has a 9. He's got a jack offsuit.
Gus is a well-traveled survivor. He once threw up in 3 different countries, Belgium, France, and Denmark, in like 7 hours. He believes that is a record.
2,200 is the raise from Gus Hansen. Klaus Petro, King Queen offsuit. Calls for 1,800.
Love that accent.
So Gus Hansen and Klaus Petro to the flop. It is 8-9 Queen Petro with top pair. Gus Hansen hits middle pair.
Gus arguably has had as big an influence on how people play as anyone during the poker boom. Folks watched him playing wacky hands on TV, and it changed how people look at the game.
Both check to the turn. Turn card is a tray. Changes nothing. Petro still ahead.
All right. 4,000.
4,000.
I want that accent.
4,000.
Gus says 4,000 like it's a bet from Mars. It's pretty standard, 2/3 the size of the pot.
Gus will make the call with middle pair. Needs some help on the river. River card now. An 8 pairs the board. Queen's up for Petro. He earns the check mark. Petro checks this time.
I really do believe I have the best hand.
He checks.
I think no.
There's the Queen's up.
I really do believe I was wrong.
Gus is right about being wrong.
Really do believe I was wrong.
It may go against his nature, but being cautious saved him some chips.
The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Welcome back inside the Rio in the 2008 World Series of Poker main event. To the featured table we go, led by Gus Hansen. He has pocket 9s.
Gus says he's evolved. The last couple of years, he's not quite as crazy, smarter at picking his spots. He says he used to have no reverse gear.
Flash the pot again.
He raises it to 2,200. And Norman, as much as you say you want to be like Gus, well, he's following in your footsteps. He's an announcer for the European broadcast of the World Series of Backgammon.
Who would follow in my footsteps?
Action folds around to Anahit Galajian.
She's cashed 8 times at the World Series.
Ace Queen offsuit makes the call from the big blind, and she'll go heads up with Gus Hansen. Flop now is Ace 4 Trey. Galajian pairs her ace to take the lead. She's first to act. She checks it.
Gus says he's had to adjust because people became more prepared for his style.
Gus trailing with his pocket nines. Bets 2,400.
Let's see how much she likes her aces.
Galajian makes the call.
She doesn't like them that much. I think she's overly wary of Gus's hand.
Turn card 5 of hearts. Gus has a flush draw.
Scare card scares Gus.
Galajian still leads with her aces. Wheel draw on board, and she checks.
Flush and straight draw out there.
Look back for hearts.
Gus has one heart, maybe trying to win over another.
Galajian not falling for Gus's charm trap or any of his trappings.
Let's see the river.
Let's see the river, Lon.
And here it comes. 5 of clubs. Galajian earns the check mark with those aces up. She checks.
Let's see another river.
You're not going to bet anymore?
Anna played those aces very softly.
And Gus will check.
I wanted another heart.
Didn't
Just
get the
one more
heart.
Thank you.
Galajian gets the pot. And Gus Hansen got off easy on the river the last couple of hands that we have seen him play. To the field we go. Galajian, one of 209 women to have entered the main event this year. With 2 World Series bracelets and 8 final tables, Jen Harmon is seeking her first main event finish in the money. And she has moved all in.
Yeah, Jen has had a rough string of main events.
Pushed in against Tommy Lee. 2 queens on the board. The brother of poker pro Nam Lee folds.
He mucks pocket kings. I think he saw Jen do that on a full tilt commercial.
Playing the game here.
So Jen survives a dicey moment out there. Elsewhere, Van Wyn, the wife of 6-time bracelet winner Min Wyn, raking in a big pot after knocking off a player. Oh, and there is Min checking in on Mrs. Master.
Look at the sets, Abba.
Keep it up, baby. You got more than me now, eh? You bust somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, you bust him? Oh, that's good for you. When you put the chip in, you say, all you can eat, baby.
I have issues with whoever taught Men the Master English.
Back to table 2 with Phil Locke, who played all of day 1, extensively made up as an old man.
I barely play a hand.
There you go.
He's straight.
Has it been abusing our blinds all day long?
He raised it.
All day long.
That's Michael Carroll, another Las Vegas pro. He and Phil have been busting each other's chops for quite a while. Queen Jack of diamonds for Carroll.
Carroll says he's the best player that people don't know. Well, now we know, Mike.
This is the way it's going to be.
It's me. It's me. It's me.
I know you have like 2 9s or something.
That's what you think this hand is?
I know it's 2 9s.
Carroll and Locke. Heads up to see the flop. Flop is deuce 5-5. Locke picked up a straight draw. His ace high leads. And he bets 3,000.
Well, Phil said Carroll had 2 9s. That bet represents that Phil can beat 2 9s.
Action on Carroll. And that raised to 7,500 indicates that he can beat Phil.
Carroll says, take that. Plays back at him.
And Phil shows him an ace and folds.
I'll pay you to see the hand. I'll pay you cash. Cash money, cash
we're
money.
We're too good of friends. I can't take your money.
So you're bluffing me?
Have I showed you one?
Show him that one.
Yeah, you showed everyone a huge one.
That's when I was a fish. I learned a couple of things.
Phil getting pushed around today.
I never win.
And cue the world's tiniest violins for Phil Locke.
I jump in a cab to come to the Rio. The cab driver goes, "You going to play some poker?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "So where are you from?" I go, "From Australia." He goes, "Oh, really? So you come all the way over here to play poker?" I go, "Yeah, it's a hell of a way to come to chase a dream." And he goes, "Hey, that fellow a couple of years ago, Joe Hasham, he's from Australia, isn't he? He won it, man. He won the World Series." I go, "Yeah, you know what? I hope I can be the next Joe Hasham." He goes, "Good luck to you, my friend."
Since winning the World Championship in 2005, Joe has proved himself time and again. He is a serious contender.
Yes, he is, Lon. He's made 2 other World Series final tables, a World Series circuit final table, and he won a WPT title for $2.2 million.
He makes the bet of 12,000 on the river. His opponent, Rafe Adler, calls, and Joe shows a full boat.
And I've said it before, he just has the look of a champion.
I never knew where I was in the hand till the river. I feel good on the river? The river I knew where I was. Before that, I had no idea where I was in the river.
Joe was one of a handful of former main event champs in the room. That family photo belongs to 2003 champ Chris Moneymaker.
Moneymaker has not had the same success as Hashem. He's only cashed in 3 events in the last 5 World Series, and he has yet to cash in the main event again.
Chris facing a bet of $20,000 from his opponent Eric Bunch, and Chris is forced to fold.
Chris trying to make it to day 3 and the money here in the main event.
There's Johnny Chan, who has his tournament life on the line. He pushed all in, waiting on Sean Chacon to call or fold.
I call.
And Sean calls.
Chan has Chacon dominated here. You may recall Chacon from his battles with Mike Matiso at the 05 main event.
Ace-King, Johnny Chan all in against King-Jack of Chacon. And the flop is 8 ace-ace. That's a good flop for Johnny. Turn card now is a 9, and that is it. Chacon drawing dead. Johnny Chan doubles up.
4 times in 6 years starting in 1987, Chan finished first, second, and 7th at the main event.
With no cash at the main event since 1992. The main event bracelet waits patiently for its new owner. Defending champion Jerry Yang was knocked out earlier in this day 2 session. Gus Hansen would love his first bracelet to be the main event bracelet.
Everyone's playing loose except Gus. Okay?
Rock.
Loose. Solid.
Peter Costa with a wildly inaccurate description of the table.
The blinds are now at 4 and 800. All the loose players at the table fold. Over to the very tight Gus Hansen. Hansen, Jack 10 offsuit.
Gus is a citizen of Denmark, a resident of Monaco, and a gambler of the world.
Raises to 2,200. Table folds to Tom Lee. Tom looks down at Queen 9 offsuit from the big blind.
Lee, Vietnamese born, but he went to Penn State. A Nittany Lion for life.
He calls for 1,400 and will test his skills against Gus Hansen. The flop is King 10-9. Hansen gets middle pair. Lee is coming up short with bottom pair. Both with straight draws. Lee checks.
Gus just wrote a book about winning the Aussie Millions in which he details every hand he played. I don't know if I like poker that much.
Gus checks the flop. The 4 on the turn. Hansen still leads. Lee first to act. Up against the top pro. We'll check it. Hansen, 3,000.
This feels like a practice hand. Nobody's hitting hard. Put on the shoulder pads. Put on the helmets.
A call from Lee. Now the river card is another 4. Hansen earns the check mark. Lee's going to be safe again and check.
He's checked every step of the way.
Hansen will bet it. 5,600.
I thought Lee's nickname was Joker because he smiles at the table a lot. Where's that smile?
It's not here.
Well, this is where Gus's reputation sometimes pays off for him. People will call him down because they think he's posturing.
I call.
Lee will do just that. And he'll learn he has lost the hand.
I have a 10.
And Lee has a 9. 10s beat 9s. I learned that online last week.
So Tom Lee forced to give chips to the top pro at this feature table.
That still felt like a preseason pot.
That's not preseason. This is the real thing, the main event. All right, let's go back over to table 2. Phil Locke is ahead after the flop, holding pocket 8s. His opponent, Mo Saquon, flopped an open-ended straight draw.
Every pot with Phil Locke feels like postseason poker.
He checks as well. And now the turn card is a 5, and Saquon hit the 9 high straight. He's first to act. Makes it 3,500 to stick around.
Remember what you said earlier, Phil? You can't win.
He makes the call. He was ahead. He's no longer ahead. River card is a 4. Saquon earns the check mark. He's got the straight. And Mo puts out 10,000 this time.
You're doing it again to me, huh?
In a different way.
I won't bluff you twice.
It feels like I had you and then you got me. That's the sick thing.
Saquon got him on the turn.
I got you beat. If you take that long, lay it down.
I told you you're going to show me, right?
Yeah, I'll show.
Why are you betting so much? You bet 2,500 when the pot was like 1,800 about 6 years ago, and you just had me crush. He said everything right to get me to call. It's like genius. He's a rocket scientist of getting the guy to call. The part about he'll show me too, that's like just cincher. Just like, yeah, put your money in.
Phil screwing himself into the ground quite eloquently.
All right, show me.
Locke correctly lays it down, and that is the planter's good instinct moment.
Good lay down, good lay down.
Phil had a bad feeling about that hand. Luckily, he followed his gut.
6-8? That's a straight. I got lucky. I just went into the back of my head and flipped the coin. It came out odds, and I was like, odds did I fold? I really wanted to call, but the coin sat there in the back of my head.
I said I show and you don't call.
I thought coin flips were heads and tails. The coin came up odds?
A good laydown for Phil Locke that time.
The Planter's Good Instinct moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good. The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Take care, guys.
Back at the Rio, Diego Cordovez is gone.
Diego finished 67th at the main event a year ago.
On the E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, you see 466 players survived the first Day 2 session. Over 1,100 remain in this Day 2 session. Contrary to popular belief, poker is not frenetic wall-to-wall action. There's a lot of downtime.
There's 2008 bracelet winner Nanad Medic playing solitaire on his iPod and taking down a pot at the same time. Geez, I can't even power my iPod on.
Back at our feature table, Gus Hansen appears a bit indifferent to the tasks at hand.
Milan, the main event is grueling. Gus once played poker 72 hours straight, not because he was prepping for the main event, just because he was losing.
All right, action continues at this featured table. Falls over to Andreas Torbergsen, 23-year-old from Norway. Gus Hansen was an early poker idol of his. Ace-10 offsuit.
He's a student at Trondheim University. I believe they are the Demon Deacons.
2,300 is the raise from Torbergsen into his poker idol, Gus Hansen. Jack-9 offsuit. In the big blind, he makes the call for 1,500 more.
Gus Hansen very mellow today.
So Hansen and Torbergsen. Flop is 8-King-7, a straight draw for Hansen, but Torbergsen with the ace high is still best. Gus checks.
Torbergsen started playing poker after watching it on TV, and Gus was on TV all the time. As you mentioned, he became his idol.
Turn card is a 9, and Gus Hansen takes the lead with a pair of 9s.
You'll find a lot of younger players on the European Poker Tour. Patrick Antonius says Gus Hansen is like Doyle Brunson over there. Gus is what, 34?
He's one of the old guard, huh? Hansen bets 3,200 with his 9s, a straight draw for Torbergsen on the turn. And he's going to come along.
Torbergsen on the draw.
River card now is the Jack, and Torbergsen hit his straight. That also gives Gus 2 pair.
Yeah, quite an unfortunate river for Gus Hansen.
Hansen first to act, and he checks his 2 pair. Torbergsen, what to do against his guy. He bets 12,000. Gus thinks maybe you got it.
I'll let you bluff me.
Gus gonna lay his 2 pair down.
Well, Gus just doesn't win by aggression. He also wins with good instincts. That was a good read.
An excellent read by Gus Hansen. Back over to table 2 now. After the flop, Phil Locke is way behind with a pair of 3s. His buddy Michael Carroll paired his ace and checked.
Phil has been everyone's punching bag here of late.
Locke puts out a bet of 1,900. Michael Carroll
3,500 more.
is going to raise it, and that's the way Phil Locke's day's been going.
Michael Carroll's been playing well, and he's been pushing Phil around.
Phil gives it up. No speech. Carroll takes the pot.
Well done, kid.
There we go.
I had you pre-flop once again.
I wasn't going to re-raise that.
It's like I always have you pre-flop, and you always out-flop me, or you out-bluff me, you outplay me.
See that camera and that one? I'm going to watch it.
It's $9 million at stake, you know? I need that money. I got bills to pay. $9 million.
You didn't even say that with a straight face.
Okay, I don't have any bills, but I have things I want to buy that cost a lot. You know?
$9 million is the number everyone has their sights set on. But as we go to the outer tables, we find Chris Moneymaker has his eyes squarely focused only on Leo Wolpert.
It looks like speed dating.
Wolpert bet 11,100. Chris makes the call. Wolpert turns over 2 pair, and clearly a misread by the 03 main event champ.
That is a face full of agony.
Elsewhere, Phil Hellmuth just bet into a big pot on the turn.
Bye-bye, Phil, or bye-bye somebody.
I'm sorry, is Phil doing stretches during the hand, or are his shorts just bunched up?
Action on Bobby Law, a frequent sparring partner of Phil's, and he lays it down.
Don't want that.
You want me to show?
They have been bluffing back and forth.
All right.
Once again.
4 deuce squadouche.
You guys want to play some poker with me? Let's go, baby. You want to play poker? Play the playa.
What would a main event be without a new catchphrase from Phil Hellmuth? Welcome back to the Rio.
Good call, B.
And the sweet sounds of a Jean-Robert Ballon double up. Jean-Robert getting richer out there.
Dude, maybe I should have thought about that a little longer. The insta-call with second pair and 10 kicker.
Jean-Robert can insta-call, scoop a pot, stack his chips, and make a speech. It's a gift.
But you know what? I'm not playing another hand. I'm just going to glide into tomorrow with my nice little tower. I'm not playing another hand. These chips are locked up.
Elsewhere, Mike Matusow never shuts it down. He's put out a bet.
I don't know you're going to show me 10-7. You know, you can have it. But I mean...
I just want you to shove all in. How's that? See, this way I'll explain to you. Cards have minds. I got the power of positive thinking. The old Mike misses. The new Mike never misses.
I'm such a...
The new Mike never misses, but he also talks as much as the old Mike.
You have to understand, when you know you're going to win, and you think positive, you win. If you actually think you're going to lose, you lose.
Mind over matter, right?
I learned this the hard way. Turn this off.
A little of the old Mike left in the new Mike. Rejoining table 2 and the continuing struggles of Phil Locke. His pocket 4 is being hammered by the pocket aces of Mo Saquon after the flop. Saquon betting 12,000.
12 is probably a good bet.
Have we seen Phil Locke win a hand today?
No, he is not a happy camper.
Now I'm probably supposed to just go all in, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 46.
Phil says he found his epitaph at age 14, into this world without my consent, leaving this world against my will. I like that.
It is a long road to hoe. See? This is why it's not easy. You see?
Showing his hand to a passerby. Why not?
My hand's still alive. It has to be people at the table that see it.
Now he's playing the role of tournament director.
You show me if I fold? The last time you answered correctly and I did the wrong thing. Or the right thing. Did I do the right thing?
Yeah. Well, I don't... Yeah, because he made it straight.
You don't want to answer anymore? I got it right last time when you talked, right? Is that what happened?
Win or lose, Phil is full of Hollywood. It's a 3-act play before he mucks.
See, in the olden days, I couldn't fold this.
They're just pocket 4s. He finally folds.
No, 2 10s with the 10 of diamonds. In the olden days, I would have to stick it all in. I couldn't see any other way out. Yeah.
Saquon gets Phil again. A good performance by Locke. I'm not so sure everyone bought it. It's an age-old act, this Hollywooding, which unfortunately never gets worn out in the poker room and is the subject of this week's edition of The Nuts.
I'll try and explain the term Hollywooding. Basically, it just means acting.
Generally, it's when you have no intention of calling or playing the hand, and you sit there for a minute.
You're basically deceiving with some theatrical overacting.
And you're like, When you look at your cards, really sad.
It's obvious to everybody at the table that it's an act.
If you've ever watched porn, that is Hollywooding. It's really bad acting.
I can't take it.
My good pal, Phil Hellmuth, does it more than anybody.
No! Oh, this idiot! That's not Hollywooding. That's just me showing my frustration.
There's sort of a code that if you have a hand, you bet your hand. You don't Hollywood among people you know. Just get to your bet. In the poker world, you can sleep with someone's wife, but don't Hollywood them.
I've been playing poker my entire adult life, and I didn't realize until now that you can sleep with somebody else's wife. It really is a great game.
Back to the feature table on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Camp. Gus Hansen with Ace Queen offsuit.
Gus named one of People Magazine's 50 sexiest men alive a few years back. I finished just outside the list.
I bet you're number one on a lot of other lists, though. 3,300 is raised to Stephen Massa. He has pocket sixes. He lives on the island of St. Martin in the Caribbean. Massa re-raised the action to 8,000. And now it's back to Gus Hansen.
It's so obvious that Gus is counting Massa's chips. You know, he could be more subtle about it. And Gus now is doing some math. It looks like he's carrying a number in his head that's really hard to do without paper.
Hansen needs 4,700 to call, but he may be doing more than that. He does re-raise Massa all in. With pocket sixes, Stephen Massa.
If Massa knew it was a coin flip, I think he'd gamble here. But I don't even know how you start to figure out what Gus's cards are, ever.
Massa right now probably going through the possibilities. Gus could have kings. He could have deuce seven.
By the way, how many players at this table are wearing earrings?
And he does fold. And Gus puts the pressure on and takes the pot.
Gus, though, today still pretty mellow, very quiet.
Please.
Whatever he's doing is working, collecting chips at this featured table. At an outer table, Phil Hellmuth flopped a pair of aces. Tony Clark a set of tens. After the turn, Hellmuth is drawing dead, and Clark has pushed all in for 49,000.
27.
Who calls the clock?
The clock has been called on Phil Hellmuth.
27.
Did a player at the table call for the clock?
Yes.
Phil doesn't like that.
Well, just admit you called the clock.
Ramsey Gelasi called the clock.
Why would you do that to me?
Floor table 27.
How long did that take?
4 minutes. Big decision for Phil.
10 seconds.
But he makes the call and will lose that big pot.
Ace-King can get you into so much trouble so many ways.
Hellmuth is steaming.
This idiot put all his money into sixes.
You bet I did.
Ace 10. All these crazy bad plays he made.
I knew I was going to get you.
Phil always has a target on him. Of course, Phil creates a larger target for himself.
Probably won't make it to the end of the day. You had me dead that hand. Nice hand, sir.
All right, to another past main event champ, Joe Hashem's table. Hashem with Jack 6 of clubs just flopped a flush draw.
I'm on.
And Joe's moved all in for his last 13,000. Jarmo Harma called him with pocket kings. Action on Pascal Garreau now, and he moves all in with pocket queens. And so the re-raise back to Harma. And Harma will make the call. He has both players covered and leads with kings, Garreau, and Joe Hashem at risk.
Joe's going to have to make his flush.
Come on, club.
Turn card now. A queen, Garreau with a full house.
It's all over.
It is over. Joe Hashem will be eliminated. A jack on the river. Garreau wins a big pot. Joe Hashem is gone.
For the second straight year, the 05 champ heads out the door early at the main event.
Joe Hashem goes down, but not without a fight. And now takes a dreaded walk to the exit.
Joe?
Hey, knocked out? Yeah, just got knocked out.
Is he bluffing? Could be. German shepherds, huh? I don't trust Germans. 2 cards. Could mean anything. Let's raise the stakes, frighten them off. No one to play with! Darn. So play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room. All right, okay.
Here is tonight's Poker Fact, brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. There are nearly 2.6 million possible hands in poker. No wonder there are so many ways to win. Back at the Rio, the last man to win the main event back-to-back is in a big hand. Johnny Chan flopped a flush draw and raised.
Re-raise.
Charlie Wang, though, with a set of jacks, re-raises Johnny all in. And Chan will call.
All in and
going to call on 18.
Chan at risk, and he has run into a set of jacks. His main event life is teetering.
Yeah, like Hashem did just a moment ago. Chan may be walking towards the rail. Turn card now. Is a heart. Chan gets the flush, but it's not over.
If the board pairs, Chan will still be eliminated.
River card is an ace, and Chan will double up. That's a huge pot for the two-time champ.
The best players in the world get lucky, too.
Winner, chicken for dinner again.
So Johnny Chan happy to stack a whole bunch of new chips. Back to the featured table now. Gus Hansen trying to find some momentum, but Gus pretty much stuck in neutral so far while he's been at this featured table. A new player at the table, Omar McFarlane, 30 years old from West Palm, Florida. Ace Queen. McFarlane will raise to 1,200.
This is a very polite group at the featured table. I would have any of these people over for dinner anytime, provided they brought dinner.
Action folds around to Gus Hansen in the small blind.
I can't help it. I just can't help it. I just can't help it.
Pocket nines, and he's going to raise it to 5,200.
Gus with a little acting there. He can't help but play pocket nines and raise.
Massive folds.
Come on, Omar. We got to stop him. We can't have him doing this.
Peter Costa trying to gather up a posse to tame Gus Hansen.
McFarlane will make the call for 4,000 more.
Omar does make the call.
So heads up, Hansen and McFarlane. Gus in the lead with the pocket nines.
Gus with an itchy face tonight. I hate that.
Flop is 10 Jack Queen. McFarlane pairs his queen. Both get straight draws. Hansen with an up and down straight draw.
Gus with an incredible record on the World Poker Tour, but he has not seen that success translate to the World Series of Poker.
Gus bets out 4,400. McFarlane with a gut shot straight draw and a leading pair of queens.
McFarlane is an entrepreneur. I'd like to be an entrepreneur.
He moves all in. Gus will need 13,000 to call.
13-2, I could be a hero.
All heroes die young. Don't do that.
I don't know why I'm not smart enough to check. I really must be a dumb... I might get a penalty if I say that. I really must be dumb.
You want to see dumb, Gus? Step into the booth, my friend.
Hey.
I meant both of us, you moron.
Why did I get into this?
Hansen led pre-flop, then bet the flop with 3 overcards that came out.
Right now, Gus is crunching the numbers. It's a tough decision.
Do I really have to call this?
McFarlane just came to the table. Gus has no idea who this guy is, how he plays.
I had to decide out.
Gus folds. McFarlane will take the pot.
If you saw my hand, you would say it was even more goofy. I'll tell you that.
He's made a couple of good, tough laydowns today.
Cheers, Gus.
Not anything that could beat what you had, that's for sure. But I might have had outs to beat you. I'm not even sure about that, though. You could have had...
Had ace king there.
You're the one lying. You had ace queen.
Definitely a possibility. That was a hand I really didn't want to see.
Well, you wouldn't have seen it unless he had a king in his back pocket.
So from one moping pro to another over to table 2. Phil Locke started the day with 45,000, but has been stuck in reverse most of the day. Phil with pocket queens, though, here.
32.
Phil Locke very busy today and very beat up.
Raises to 3,200. Michael Carroll with pocket aces.
I'm raising.
Of course.
32.
He makes it 92 total.
Michael Carroll has had Phil Locke for lunch and supper today.
Action back on Locke. 6,000 more to call.
Well, we've seen this before. Phil Locke likes to get fully dressed before he pushes all in. And look, he has the presence of mind to put his shoes back on. He is a pro.
He has been bullied and bluffed and blindsided today. It looks like he's getting ready to make his exit.
You're packing up?
Packing up.
It's me.
Don't forget your beverage.
You got everything I need?
I got a beverage.
It's me.
Taking the water because Times is broke. Times is tough.
Wonder how long he takes to parallel park.
It was nice playing with all you guys.
I think he's ready to go.
Somebody's going to win $9 million. And I don't know who it's going to be.
All in, call, aces.
Boy, that makes an instant call look slow.
Oh, Phil is sick that his buddy has aces against his queens.
Thinking he can't have aces or kings.
But he does.
Man, that's big.
All right, the flop, Jack Deuce 5.
That I'm going to lose, I think, right?
Nothing in there for Phil.
Anyways. Well done, brother. Win all the money.
Locke needs a queen.
Turn card now. A 7. Carol's still way ahead.
Flush. Give me 4 diamonds.
Only a queen,
4
says
diamonds.
Phil Locke.
River card is a deuce.
Good
And
luck.
that's it.
See everybody. Win all the money.
Phil Locke eliminated.
Take care. Could I have folded that? Maybe.
Nah, you couldn't have. But you could have pushed all in quicker.
That's it. Now this is a walk of shame where we walk down that long hallway alone.
Unabomber Phil Locke does begin that long walk home as day 2 comes to a close. It was a day that began with enormous expectations, and for a number of champs, patience and perseverance was rewarded.
Tired. Day 1 was easy. This was tough.
It didn't work out quite so well for everyone, though.
Next year.
Including former world champion Joe Hashem. Now many new faces in the crowd gladly move on to day 3, including Mike Wilson and Michael Carroll. They are joined by a slew of dangerous veterans who will now get the chance to play together in one room as the competition and the egos heat up.
I know how to play this tournament. None of these other idiots do.
Over 1,300 players are now closer to the dream of $9.1 million.
All you can eat tomorrow, baby.
Next stop, day 3 and the money. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. See you next time for the main event of the World Series of Poker.